All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepted members to not only the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube, giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member. The link for the membership right down in the video description is in the chat. All you have to do is just click it. You'll get a video introduction, run down on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website up on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed by the General, strictly for the brothers. Amazing program. You can get a preview just by clicking the link right down in the chat. Also included the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable live stream, where the family sit down, the brothers sit down once a week discussing very important, very powerful, vital information pertinent to our growth and development. Get on over there, get that preview, and become a brother, become a member today. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. Got something for your family. I know you're going to like and love. Get over there, check it out, get a discount, shop and save, and shop. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. Over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love from the General. We talking about the old Mecca, ancient Egypt, ancient Nubia. That's right, Black Babylon, the Hindu Kush from Naga the nigga. We got that making of the white man, the black woman is God, Freemasonry, hip hop, all the fraternities, sorority, Illuminati, New World Order, got it all on deck. It's not another website nowhere on the planet that could compare, compete. Become a member today. And everybody knows that he got the pop in his page on Patreon, by far over 500 exclusive live streams, blowing your mind. You need to get access to it today. The link is right at the top of the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Click it and check out that menu, become a patron. That's right. To all the family donated to the General, thank you. I appreciate you. Those would like to donate to this hardworking General, the link is right in the chat. Go ahead, click it and donate today. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Here we go, family. It's going down. They talking about that it's not over. Not by a long shot. That war in Iran is just getting started. You know, it's eventually going to break all the way out. So just be prepared for it. It's going to eventually break all the way out. A lot of people is saying that that they didn't get all the, they didn't get all the uranium out of there. That's what a lot of people is saying, that they did not get all the uranium out of there. That's a possibility, because if you tell somebody ahead of time what facilities, and they already know what facilities they very well was enriching uranium in, so it wouldn't be, if somebody say I'm bombing that, of course you would think that they would get something out of there, that they wouldn't leave everything there for them to bomb. That's logical. And so, but so some of these people think that their technology is God and that they could see any and all things. And so it very well could be a high probability that they did not get all that uranium, which means that you got to go back if that's your intentions. If your intention was to bomb all that uranium, you got to go back. But where do you go? You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you can store that type of material anywhere. I don't know if you can store that kind of material just anywhere. It's got to be the proper facilities. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is deadly. You see what I'm saying? That shit is deadly. You got to, it's got to be stored in the proper facilities. If it's spilled, you know what I'm saying? The environmental damage that could be done if that shit spilled, motherfucker breathing it in or anything of that nature. But so they're saying that is not over. Okay, that is not over, and I'm getting wind that Khomeini, the Ayatollah over there, has threatened. Yeah. We stepping up today. Yeah, that Khomeini has threatened Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? So they've been going back and forth today. They've been going back and forth since they bombed. They've been going back and forth for the last year, and so it's coming to a head. You see, it ain't gonna be just no bomb, because you can bomb some shit, but you got to put boots on the ground. If you really gonna do what you need, got to put boots on the ground. And at that point, it could get ugly. You see, yeah, no, it ain't no ceasefire. It ain't no ceasefire, because the thing is, you done struck this man's regime. It ain't no, it's just like, you can't undo certain shit. You feel what I'm saying? You can't undo bombing a motherfucker country. So if you strike a motherfucker like that, they a threat, because a motherfucker gonna want some get back. Motherfucker gonna want some get back now. And you ain't gonna just bomb nobody country and they ain't gonna want to get no goddamn good get back. So it's a wrap on that. You feel what I'm saying? It's a goddamn wrap on that. So, he's a threat in one way or another. And so the possibility that, even if now we're hearing that China is either helping them with the missile defense system. This is what, this is the word on the street, that China is helping them with the missile defense system, that they didn't see certain planes landing over there in Iran and this, that, and the third. And so, yeah, so, China want to throw their hat in the ring, and they want to, and they want to help Iran out. It's going to be to no avail. It's going to be to no avail. It's going to be to no avail, period, because they're going to knock that shit out of there too. China want to save face because they got some oil coming up out of there, and obviously they need that oil. But this is all strategic, because United States know China is over there, trying to, get their hand in there. United States has been running the Persian Gulf for a while. They've been running the Persian Gulf since after World War II. You see what I'm saying? They've been running that shit over there. Literally after World War I. They've been over there running that shit. So now China is becoming a powerhouse. And, you got all these people, you got cities and shit, and you need that oil. You got all these big ass, you need that oil. And so they know this is also a fight for who gonna be on top. You see what I'm saying? It's a fight, and they already know it's about regime change. It's about regime change. You got to go, because you're not. I'm saying it not in the sense that, because I'm on the outside looking in. I don't. That's between Iran and white America. That's what it's about. You see. Until Iran want to strike the United States, and if they want to strike mainland United States, then I hope the United States do whatever the fuck they got to do to defeat any of that. That's just all it is to it. I'm not gonna hold you up. Some of you motherfuckers out here think Ayatollah Khomeini gonna give you a tweet and let you know if he happen to want to do some damage in the United States, that he might give you a tweet or give you a call on the phone and say, Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, we're going to get y'all today, but I want to give you a head up, because you my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Assalamu alaikum. You see what I'm saying? You my nigga, and I want to look out for you. Some of you motherfuckers actually think that that's a possibility, but it's not. So if they even think think about, wanting to do any type of harm in the United States where our families is located, you understand? I pray that, that they are defeated. I hope they defeated in any aspirations or on any attempt to achieve any of that. Okay, so that's just all it is to it. I wouldn't give a fuck what they arguing about. Okay, I ain't got time to worry about that. You see what I'm saying? It's about power. Who want to be on top? You feel what I'm saying? And so that's just how it go. You see, even in the goddamn, you motherfucker out there playing kill the man with the ball. You see what I'm saying? You got to get in where you fit in. You pick that motherfucking ball up. You either run it or motherfuckers gonna be gunning for your ass. That's just all it is. And so that's what it's about in the world of power. You feel me? And people got to understand they act, today the United States is the big bully on the block. It is. It's that. Yesterday it was somebody else. It was Britain. Russia has been the big bully on the block. China is the big bully on the block. They over there bullying motherfuckers. Don't think they ain't. They bullying who they could bully. You see what I'm saying? Until they run into a nation that's, equally, and they have to, they have to do it a certain way. But them other nations over there, the Philippines and Indonesia and all that, and Japan and all that, them little nations, they bully them. You understand what I'm saying? That's just all it is to it. That's how power is, especially if they affiliated with the United States. That's their way of letting them know. You see, we you fucking with our adversary. So they gonna bully them. And that's how Russia is a bully. All them goddamn Slavic countries right around Russia is a bully. They bully motherfuckers. You see, they don't want no smoke. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't want no smoke. That's just all it is to it. I didn't watch this shit until I see otherwise. Cause you just ain't, this shit go boom. You know what I'm saying? This shit go boom when it drop. It don't, and the formula didn't already been figured out. That's all I know. The formula has already been figured out. So when that motherfucker leave that goddamn plane, and when that motherfucker hit the ground, it go boom. It ain't gonna change. And so, unless you got something that's greater than that or this, that, and I know what it is when it pull up. I didn't see war. I had opportunity. I didn't see Vietnam, but I did have opportunity to see Desert Storm. We had a chance. The other one where Saddam Hussein went into Kuwait. I had opportunity to see that one. I had the opportunity to see the Croatia war. What was it? Yugoslavia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, and all of that. I seen that situation go down, and I know how deadly it could be. You see, I know how deadly it could be. And I seen a whole lot of motherfuckers sell wolf tickets. You see what I'm saying? But so again, I judge this shit, no different than I judge a fucking boxing match. You see what I'm saying? And, that don't mean, but, whoever got the most artillery, got the most skills, it is what it is. You can go for whoever you want to go for. I remember when I was coming up, my granddaddy, when Mike Tyson was young, they didn't want to give Mike Tyson no goddamn credit. They didn't want to give Tyson no credit. Them old heads didn't respect Tyson. They say, oh, he just, you know what I'm saying? Until them goddamn knockouts went up into the 20s, and this the 20th man knocked out. And when he started knocking out them goddamn champions like Burbick and so on and so forth and shit, and it became real. It became real that that unless you got the artillery to fight this man, you going down. That's just all it is to it. You can go for whoever you want to go for. You see, you could go Afghanistan too. Yeah, Afghanistan too. You can go for whoever you want to go for. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the motherfucking day, those with the most artillery, okay, yeah, those with the most artillery is gonna win. Those with the most goddamn artillery is gonna goddamn win. And so that's just all it is to it. And so, people, when you wolf off at your mouth, Iran is wolfing off at their goddamn mouth, and they've been wolfing off. They've been talking about death to America. They've been talking about death, even when I was young. Death to America and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? That's what they, and so how long you think you gonna say death to America for a motherfucker challenge you? You see what I'm saying? How long you think you gonna say, right or wrong, how long you think you gonna say death to a motherfucker for they yeah, but yeah, they all got that shit. But you know what I'm saying? China's shit ain't been proven in battle though. They all got some shit, but you got to use that shit in battle. You got to prove that, you got to use them weapon systems in battle and shit. So you can work the bugs out of that shit. You can't just say, I got some shit. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of shit the United States have till they take that shit into battle. And that's why they keep some shit going on. So they could keep testing their shit in battle. You see what I'm saying? How is it going to work? Black power. Yeah, how is it going to work when you out there on the battlefield? So saying you got some shit and you ain't never tested that shit out in battle because the adversary got some shit too that you don't know about. You see what I'm saying? You think they always telling you about what they got? Yeah, China, I can't see China's catching up. Yeah, they got some shit. They got some shit, but what you think them goddamn, yeah. What you think the motherfucker, so what if the boom come here? It could come here, but I mean, just think about it. Who gonna do it though? With the possibility of being obliterated. You see what I'm saying? It could come here. The Twin Towers don't mean shit. That could have been an inside job. You see what I'm saying? That could have been an inside job. But I mean, just think what they did for that. You see what I'm saying? They didn't went over. They jumped on Iraq. They jumped on Afghanistan. They got the equivalent of the Twin Towers. They probably got that 1 million times fold. You know how much opium they was moving out of Afghanistan for 20 years? God damn, you see what I'm saying? That don't mean shit. What the fuck do that mean? Twin Towers ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But you can hit anybody. Yeah, you can hit over here. Look at Pearl Harbor. Look what Japan did to Pearl Harbor. But they ass paid for it though. They paid, they tapped. Them motherfuckers had to tap out now. Yeah, they did. You can't hit a motherfucker. Anybody could get hit now. We ain't saying that. And that's fucked up. That, you could be hit. The United States could get struck. It's not, that's without a doubt. But the reality is anything that you're talking about, believe you me, these motherfuckers over here is ahead of the game in that shit. They've been doing it longer. Okay? They've been doing it long. You don't know what they got. You see what I'm saying? Motherfucking United States already had enough bombs to blow up the world damn near 50 years ago. You see what I'm saying? They didn't develop that shit to where they could put that shit on backpacks and, they got goddamn portable nukes. You understand? Where they can put one of them motherfuckers in a backpack and send a motherfucker in, through the forest and shit over there and put some shit. It has shit going off every motherfucking way. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they can make knockoffs, but them knockoffs ain't all that. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I say, United States got bombs, got bases all around China. You see any over here? Make that shit make sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? Make that shit make sense to me. And, they got motherfucking bases over there all around that motherfucker. Everywhere. Damn near surrounded that motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So, and it ain't, I'm just saying it is what it is. They've been over there damn near since World War II when they jumped on Japan. You know, that's really what they was over there. China wasn't even no threat at that time. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, most of that shit that was set up over there was when they was at war with Japan. So they got islands over there that they fully locked and loaded and shit. You see what I'm saying? You see? So they got bases in fucking Korea, they got bases in Japan, they got bases in the Philippines, they got bases in Guam, they got bases in Australia, they got bases all through that motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is a hell of an advantage. You could believe that. Yeah, that's a hell of a motherfucking advantage. Yeah, that's a hell of an advantage. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, all of that drones then took this shit to a different level out here. But they are saying that that motherfucking that China is equipping Iran with some type of missile defense system because they didn't knock their shit out of it. You know, they ain't even got no missile defense system. You know, they didn't knock that shit out, you know, months ago when the Israelis went over there the first time. They punished their shit. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it ain't looking good. You know what I'm saying? It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. So, you know, people, you could just wait on it. You know, they won't regime change. And, you know, they did that in Iraq. They did that shit. And matter of fact, they set that shit up over there. You know, they set that shit up there the first time. You know what I'm saying? They established Iran. They the one that established Iran and put that motherfucker over there. What they call him? He was a puppet. I ain't saying is okay, but it is what it is. You see, it is what it is. They've been talking ever since I've been a child. Iran has been saying death to America. You see what I'm saying? Since I was a child, they've been talking about death to America. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, what the fuck am I gonna do? You see what I'm saying? When they say this shit, you know, does that mean? Yes, it means you, nigga. Yes, it means you. You don't get no pass, nigga. You do not get no pass. They not calling you up and giving you no text talking about. And so if your best thing is to get the fuck out of here, period. That's the only thing you could do if that's what you choose. But if you stay over here, I'm going with the home team where I'm living. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm going with the home team. That's just how it go. Now, if you got a better plan, I would like to hear it. You see what I'm saying? You got a better one? Let me know about it. Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's the best one for me. You feel what I'm saying? But we'll see where this go, because I believe they about to get that shit cranked back up. They not going, if you done jumped on a motherfucker head, and I doubt very seriously if they going to give them, yeah. You know what? I make some analysis myself. You know, I get shit off the news and shit, and I make self-analysis. You know, based on what I done seen, you know, with warfare and shit, and, you know, because like I say, you know, this shit is happening over and over and over again. You see, you want to add something? Yeah, I really just, you know, because I've studied war, you know, that's been one of the things that I studied, you know, and I don't got to be right. I just I get up there and I talk my shit just like most motherfuckers on the news. I didn't see many motherfuckers be generals and shit. They be on Fox News, they be on CBS News, they be on and they make predictions, and they not always right. Then a lot of them are wrong, and so if they could be generals and they could be all these high up polluting, titles and shit, and they make predictions and shit, and they wrong and shit. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, seeing warfare, you know, for a long time, I see shit, and I try to make a logical deduction, you know, from that. And my logical deduction is that I just really don't see nobody from a military standpoint that is fucking with the United States. I just don't. This is not, this is not cheerleading. It's just acknowledging, how and that don't mean, it's how you do it. You got to know the capabilities of somebody. And then once you know the capabilities, then you can formulate, your plan or how you gonna do what you do. But not in ignoring, you understand the capabilities of a motherfucker and how they can harm you. That's the majority. That's how the majority of motherfuckers fail. You done failed already. You know what I'm saying? You done failed already because ain't no motherfucking way, you just gonna talk shit and thinking. And the reality is, even when you start seeing Iran shooting fucking missiles back and forth, they really weren't, they didn't really hit shit. You know what I'm saying? They hit some shit, but just imagine if the United States would have shot that many missiles. You see, as many as they shot, you know what I'm saying? If the United States would have shot that many missiles, man, that motherfucker would have been fucked up over there, for real, for real. If they was aiming just all in you talking about every man, that shit would have been fucked up over there. Real talk. It would have been told to fuck up. Shit would have been all fucked. Lights would have been out over there. Water would have been fucked up. It would have been, and this is not what we looking for. But I'm just saying, their capabilities ain't what you think it is. Okay, they ain't got, And you talking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that shit is, the shit that they dropped on them is like firecrackers today. But anyway, family, you could best believe this shit just getting started. I could tell you that. And I don't, they not going to be long getting back over there. They ain't going to be long. Because once you get on the motherfucker heads, you don't want them to breathe too much. They talking about regime change, and so that's really what they aiming for. They want my mans to come on up out of there. They want Khomeini, Ayatollah Khomeini, they want him up out of there. That's basically, and they want all the motherfuckers that was a part of the old regime, they want them up out of there. That's just basically what it is. But let's get down, because you done struck them now. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to want to get back. So the only thing, what's left, you see? Yeah. Ice cold, shut up. You understand what I'm saying? Shut your bitch ass up. What you going to do? Tell me what you going to do. Besides come up on the internet. Tell me what you going to do, Ice Cold. Shut your bitch ass up and tell us what you going to do. Besides cry in the motherfucking chat. That's all you going to do, bitch nigga. Is cry in the chat. Yeah. Your support. What your support doing for a motherfucker? You gonna stop and bomb from falling on a motherfucker head? Yeah, you gonna stop and bomb from falling on a motherfucker head. Can you tell me that? What you gonna do? Explain this to me. Can you explain that to me, bitch nigga? Explain it to me. Yeah. Nothing. Ain't no goddamn thing. You see? That's what I said. Nothing. What does it say here? You say, Seti, over there, Iran is king. They have showed you shit. Yeah, they ain't got shit popping off, man. They didn't knocked off damn near every motherfucker in the man. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't did nothing about that. I wouldn't even work for that motherfucker. Yeah, Iran the beast too. What you talking about? You think it's one head of the beast? You think it's one head of the beast? As many as you just got one head bigger than the other. Yeah. It's more than one head of the beast. You see what I'm saying? And Iran is one of the heads of the beast too. Over there, they the one fabricating all that goddamn warfare over there. They've been the enslaver of African people down through the goddamn centuries too. Are you aware of that? Ice cold. You must be ice cold on knowing your motherfucking history. You need to heat up. You need to heat up, ice cold, because you must don't know your history. You see, Iran has been a facilitator, one of the great facilitators of the slave trade over there in Africa. Are you aware of that, ice cold? You see what I'm saying? Heat up, man. Get your shit together, man. Don't come in here caping for no motherfucking, you got one head bigger than the other, but it's 7 heads of the beast. According to the, Revelations, it's a 7-headed beast. One head bigger than the other, but it's 6 other heads. And Iran is most definitely one of them, especially in the Islamic world. Matter of fact, in the Islamic world, you know what I'm saying? Iran and probably Egypt is the 2 most powerful fucking nations in the Islamic world. What is you talking about? Bruh, listen to me. What is you talking about? You talking about goddamn BC period. You don't know what you talking about. You don't know what you talking about. When we talking about the Arab slave trade, you mean to tell me Iran wasn't in the Arab slave trade? Man, go somewhere. See you. We're not talking about in the ancient world. We talking about under the banner of Islam. Yeah. We talking about I don't care what. We talking about under the banner of Islam. Ice Cold, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You don't know what you're talking about. I didn't spend too much time on you. When you said that, I already know. Okay, we're not talking about Black Babylon. We're not talking about that. Let's get that clear. Okay, but anyway, family, he ice cold on them facts. That's what he ice cold on the facts. Yeah. He want to be Iranian. He want to be Ayatollah ice cold. He want to be Ayatollah ice cold and shit. But go on over there and see how they treat you, nigga. Go on over there and call your cousins up, over there in Iran, nigga. And go on over there and see how they treat you. You see what I'm saying? They'll have your ass somewhere out there, nigga, in the middle of the desert, some motherfucking way. And one of them, when they put, how they got a motherfucker in a stock and shit with your neck and your hands and shit, and they put that goddamn stock on your ass, they'll have your ass somewhere out there in the desert with a stock on your ass. You understand what I'm saying? Pouring camel piss on your ass. They be out there pouring camel piss on your ass. But anyway, family, this is General Sarah Seti. I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. Yeah. Iran colonized India. Yeah. Hit them with the facts. Family. Yeah. I'll be back in just a second, man. Don't y'all go nowhere. Arm yourself with knowledge. Get over there to Patreon. Click that link. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.